Clemson leading North Carolina 7-0 at the half. Bob Rathman and Lee Corso here at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. And you know Barry Switzer and those Oklahoma Sooners reeling after the loss of Hollywood.
Hollywood's a great player, and he's the leader of that football team. Switzer will have somebody ready to go. He'll play great defense. It'll get down to the Nebraska game. He'll find another quarterback, or he'll hand it off to the fullback all the time and never have the quarterback. Barry Switzer is one of the great coaches, and he's one of the guys I think's got a great chance of beating Eddie Robinson or Bear Bryant's record someday for most wins.
Here's a look at the halftime statistics and zero in on the total yards. Clemson with its ball control, 224. Yet the defense has limited North Carolina to 72, and the turnovers have not come back to burn Clemson.
Clemson had one major turnover. That's the one where they were going in to score for a touchdown, and they fumbled the ball on a 10 and it went into the end zone.
It has not cost them any points. Defensively, it has cost them some points offensively there. Carolina's option to start the second half. They will receive. And Clemson's Rusty Sile will take it away here. 7-0 Clemson. 23 Randy Marriott and 35 Eric Starr, the deep men for the Tar Heels. Here we go, the second half. First place in the ACC at stake at Kenan Stadium, and it's Marriott at the 9. Has it open at 20. Over the 25 and to the 26. Here's a look at the drive chart in the first half. The North Carolina possessions, their first one resulted in a missed field goal by Kenny Miller. Clemson held and forced Carolina to punt in just 3 plays, another punt after 5 plays, and still another punt after 3. And the final drive resulted in an interception for North Carolina. So the Tar Heels played most of the first half, with the exception of that first drive, in their own territory. Torrin Dorn in motion. And Mark made a pass. He's looking for Lewis, and it's going to be intercepted by Clemson, and James Lott, number 5. Mark May intercepted for the second time, and Clemson with the turnover to start the second half.
North Carolina tried to come out and surprise Clemson, but Clemson was in good position. May drops back, gets good position, and throws the ball as far as he can, but he throws it too far because Lott, number 5, was in perfect position to intercept that football. It was a good play strategically. It just wasn't executed very well.
Clemson leading 7-0. The interception by James Lott. He leads the team. That's his 4th pickoff. Williams hits it inside the 35 to the 36.
It was a typical Southern football field position ball game. They moved down the field. Clemson did, lost the ball on 4th down. They had a fumble. They moved the ball again and punted. They moved the ball again and then fumbled the ball, which was the big play. And then they moved the ball all the way down after a great punt return and scored a touchdown. They should have really scored 2 touchdowns the last 2 times they had the ball in the first half.
Pitch right to Allen. Terry lost the football. It's loose, and North Carolina gets it right back. Carlton Bailey, number 96. And the Tar Heels are back in business.
21, Allen is going to the right. He's getting a good block there by number 42, Johnson, but he gets stripped of the ball by number 93, Reuben Davis, and all of a sudden, there's Bailey, number 96, to fall on. Now, 93 is the key man right there. He reaches and strips the ball loose from him. The reason that play was a great play because Davis came from the inside and made the play.
Torrin Dorn takes the pitch and moves it to the Clemson 33. James Lott, the right cornerback, came up to make the tackle on Dorn.
You gotta love Dorn. Watch him. He sees a good blocking on the line of scrimmage. Number 40 is going to get a good block, but he explodes to the line. The great backs are always judged on how many yards they make after their first contact. And I like Dorn because he runs through the tacklers. He doesn't take the punishment. He delivers it.
Pitch to Dorn. Trying the left side. Gets a block. A penalty flag goes down as Dorn moves it to the 32. Torrin Dorn with his 8th carry of the game. And holding against North Carolina, the preliminary indication. What a lift, though, Lee, it would be for North Carolina and Dick Crum to have Torrin Dorn come back 100% healthy for these final 3 games.
Holding, offensive team. Repeat, second down.
The penalty backs it up to the 43.
They still got good field position. They've got the ball on the 42-yard line. I know it's long yardage, but if they get 2 good plays, they can get the ball in there and either kick a field goal or make a touchdown.
Here's Chuck Tabor, the junior from Charlotte, with one of the more unique haircuts in the ACC. Beat the Tigers. Coach, when you were at Florida State, did you have your haircut like that?
No comment.
Here's May handing it off, and an opening for Dorn, and he moves it back to the 35 to the 34-yard line. Gene Beasley, the strong safety man.
Dorn has a slippery movement. He's going into the hole right now. He runs a sprint draw. Watch him right here make a break to his right, which is really a terrific play. And now number 27, Beasley, comes up to make the tackle. When you're calling the numbers of 27 Beasley making the tackle, North Carolina is finally moving the football because the secondary people are making the tackles.
The 3rd down conversion story, and Carolina's looking at a 3rd and 7. Clemson bringing pressure. May. Penalty flags it down, and the whistle stop play. But a penalty flag thrown before the snap. Quentin Smith made the grab, but they're going to bring this one back. Clemson, Lee, with that pressure, anticipating the snap, and an injured Tiger. The injured man is weak side linebacker number 40, Henry Carter, the redshirt junior from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Dead ball, false start penalty against the Tar Heels.
The Tar Heels are penalized for a false start, and that'll move it back 5 more.
The gentleman on the left there is Fred Hoover, the great trainer. He's been over 30 years at Clemson as a head trainer. He was my trainer at Florida State University, an outstanding man.
Time out on the field. We'll return after this. ESPN's presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Yashica. They put a new focus on photography with the new 230 AF autofocus. Keena Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Clemson leading the Tar Heels 7-0. We have 12 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. 3rd and long for the Tar Heels. They have to get to the 28. Mark May under pressure, out of the pocket, throwing on the move, and he hits Torrin Dorn, and Dorn is out of bounds at the 27-yard line, and the Tar Heels have a 1st down.
Pushed down by Merrill.
May rolls out to the right. He sends 2 men to the deep, to the outside, but number 44, Dorian, slips into the flat and catches the ball, and he just does make the 1st down with a good piece of running after he caught the football.
1st and 10 for North Carolina. The Tar Heels in the decade of the 80s have had to battle both Clemson and North Carolina. You have to go back to 1980 to find the last time that the Tar Heels beat both Maryland and Clemson in the same season. They beat the Terps last week. They trail Clemson tonight 7-0. And here's an inside handoff to the fullback. And it is James Thompson grinding the yardage down to the 20.
It looks like what North Carolina has done after the halftime has decided, look, we're going to use Thompson, we're going to use Dorn, we're going to use everybody. But they got everybody into attack right now. Dorn makes a good fake to the outside, drawing the linebackers, and Thompson hits it up the middle. 5'11", 235 junior.
Second down for the Tar Heels. Quentin Smith goes in motion. May on the handoff. Dorn, 15. Dorn at the 10. Dorn tight over the sideline, and he's in for the touchdown. Torrin Dorn has returned to North Carolina.
North Carolina is a different team completely. Now watch number 60, Steinbroker. He gets the block right there. He cuts the man inside. 71, Hamilton makes a good block, and there goes Dorn down the sideline.
Kenny Miller adds the point, but there's a penalty flag down. That kick was to tie it. The penalty against Clemson for roughing the kicker. That'll be tacked on the kick. The game is tied. 11:19 to go in the third quarter at Chapel Hill. We're back at Chapel Hill. Lee, some great up-front blocking for the Heels.
Yes, sir. Number 60, Steinbroker, right there, gets a man in. Now watch number 71, Hamilton, make a good block on the secondary man, and Dorn goes down the sideline, tight walks it in. North Carolina is a completely different football team with number 44 as a tailback. A misdirection play. Good block by Parham, number 80. Number 60, Steinbroker. Number 71, Hamilton, and Dorn scores, and the Carolina Tar Heels are back in the ball game. A
20-yard touchdown run for Torrin Dorn. He's got 56 yards for the game. And there's the scoring drive that began with a fumble recovery. It took 2 minutes and 50 seconds for the Heels to go 38 yards and tie this game at 7. Kenny Miller with the kick, and the kickoff goes out of the end zone for a touchback. So Clemson will have it at their 20-yard line. 11 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and this one, Lee Corso's heating up. Clemson and the Tar Heels are tied at 7. Coming up next, we've got another dandy as number 15 Alabama meets number 5 LSU. That one right after our game here from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Jim Kelly and Kevin Kiley standing by.
We did the LSU-Georgia game, and LSU is one of the best coached and one of the best football teams in the country. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go all the way into the Sugar Bowl and play for the national championship.
Now the Clemson Tigers with one lone setback, fullback Chris Lancaster. 2 tight ends. Lancaster finds a small hole and runs it ahead to the 22. Lancaster's done a whale of a job, and Clemson, Lee, was the only major college program to offer that young man a scholarship. Out of Mableton, Georgia, and Riverside Military Academy. On the Tar Heel bench, offensive line coach Bill Stewart talking to his troops. 2nd and 8. Williams. Incomplete. Rodney threw it into a crowd that time at the 30-yard line. James Coley, the intended receiver.
You can see the momentum starting to change. When Dorn come in the ball game, he added a spark to this football team. He's made some good runs. Now the defense plays off the offensive plays, and they've got Clemson a little bit rattled. Clemson has got to get back to doing what they do the best, is stick it to them and run the football.
And these Carolina fans are hungry for a win. They've beaten Clemson only once at Kennedy Stadium since 1971. That was 2 years ago in a wild finish. We may have a wild one here tonight. We're tied at 7 in the third quarter. Williams throwing incomplete at the 33. The intended receiver, 26, Ricardo Hooper. So after the offense scores, Lee Corso, the defense takes its cue and holds Clemson.
Danny Ford knows right now he's got to do something to get his team back in this ball game. There's Williams rolling out. He throws the ball behind Hooper. He could have thrown it a little bit higher. It would have been good completion. It's 7-7, but right now, North Carolina, momentum-wise, is winning this football game.
It's 7-7, but North Carolina's ahead. Here's the punt by Rusty Sile. Victor Bullock is back deep for the Tar Heels. Here's a kick, and it's short. Bullock is going to let it bounce, and wisely so, inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. There's a timeout on the field. 10:20 to go in the third quarter in a tie game. We'll continue with more from Chapel Hill right after this timeout. The AFC East against the NFC East at 8 p.m. Live Eastern Time tomorrow night right here on ESPN, the National Football League. Mark May of Carolina scrambling and moves the football over the 40 to the 41-yard line. The North Carolina Tar Heels on a 20-yard touchdown run by Torin Dorn, tying the game here in the third quarter. And now they've got the football back and starting a drive from their own 37. They'll have it second down in about 7 from the 41.
Talking about North Carolina, when you watch the Giants game tomorrow night, Lawrence Taylor, greatest defensive player ever played here.
This school has produced not only fine linebackers, but great tailbacks, too. And here comes Torin Dorn. He may very well be Lee Corso the next in that outstanding Carolina tradition at the tailback spot. You're right. This kid adds excitement.
Well, he's got a little quickness to him, but he's got explosiveness, too. Watch, the line is blocking real good. Steinbacher comes around and blocks pretty good. 40 Thompson gets a block, but the thing about Dorn that I like, at the point of contact, he pops into the guys. He delivers the blow. He doesn't ever take a blow from that defensive player.
On the draw, Dorn trying to get outside. A good move at the 45 and out of bounds at the 41. Doug Brewster ran him out of bounds.
Remember we talked about the great backs? You count the number of yards he makes after he's hit by the opponent. Right now, he's touched right there. Now watch, there's 2, 7, 12, 13 yards after he is tagged by one of the Clemson Tigers. Now that's a good move there. He can't get to him there. He breaks the tackle with a good stiff arm. Looks like Charlie Justice going up the right sideline.
Charlie Justice began the parade, the All-America running back here at North Carolina, but there have been other greats, Amos Lawrence and Kelvin Bryant, Ethan Horton, Ken Willard, Mike Boyd, the list goes on and on.
Kelvin Bryant is in the NCAA record book. He scored 36 points in one game here against East Carolina in 1981. That's a career for some guys.
Indeed. Short by inches of the first down.
Let's go over the options the quarterback has right now. It's third down and less than 6 inches. Earlier in the game, they gave the ball to the fullback and they didn't make it. It's second down. So what do? You go to a quarterback sneak because it's the safest play, and you get the first down and you start over again.
As you look at other scores elsewhere around college football, Indiana with a big comeback. Arkansas winning over Baylor by a field goal. Tennessee wins big over Louisville. Don't forget, it's going to be Alabama and LSU coming up on ESPN. Handoff. Dorn finds a hole. Gets through. First down and more to the 32.
The left side of the North Carolina line, 71 Hamilton, 60 Steinbacher. They are blowing off the ball. 50. Garnica is coming off the ball. Dorn makes that little break to the left, and right now he's so quick that he's getting into the secondary and getting into those linebackers before they got a chance. He beats number 56 to the inside, and there goes Dorn.
Tar Heels ready on a 1st and 10 from the Clemson 32. Dorn. Nothing this time. The white shirts are there. Elsewhere in college football, second quarter. Now a final, Northern Arizona winning over Tulsa. Southern Cal winning over Stanford. Air Force wins in the Battle of the Service Academies. A victory for Colorado. Clemson may have gotten an indication from Torin Dorn last year of big things to come from this young man. He had 54 yards and 6 carries against the Tigers in Death Valley last year. And today, Torin Dorn has carried it for 82 yards. Here comes a reverse. Clint Smith, 35, 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds. Penalty flag back at the 32. And Smith took a pretty good hit. It's going to be a clip against the Tar Heels.
The clip was by number 71 Hamilton. He clipped number 92 Brewster. There's a good reverse play. Smith's got the ball. He's coming around. Now on the bottom right-hand side of your picture, you'll see number 71 Hamilton right there. He comes from behind and blocks him and clipped him. So that's a 15-yard penalty. Another look, you'll see number 71 is the right tackle. He sneaks around to the right. Smith's got the ball coming, but in the right-hand side of your picture, keep your eye on 71 right there. And that's the clip. And it takes him back 15 yards.
The penalty of 10 yards moves him back. Carolina's 4th penalty of the game. Now second from the Carolina, make that the Clemson 48-yard line. Mark May will hand it over to Torrin Dorn, and he spins over the 45 to the 43. You see Torrin Dorn getting off the bottom of the pile as they have just given the ball to Dorn exclusively here in the second half. The touchdown run of 20 yards pulled Carolina even. 7:35 to play in the 3rd quarter. North Carolina and Clemson are tied at 7.
It's 3rd and 21. They got to be very careful, North Carolina does, not to turn the ball over here. It'd be better for them to run a safe play and punt the ball inside the 10 because their defense is really fired up.
Mark May over the middle and complete to Randy Marriott. Moves the football to the 34. And it's going to be 4th down and about 12.
That's a good safe play by the North Carolina team. May 14 drops back to pass. He's got good pass protection. He dumps a little short one over to Marriott, who's coming from the left side, and makes a good play. What they were trying to do in this case is set up the field goal.
Kenny Miller is coming into the game to attempt a 52-yard field goal. He has a 54-yarder. He kicked that against Florida State 2 years ago. Mark May, the holder. Miller with the kick. And it is short. Kenny Miller trying from long range, missing his 2nd field goal of the game. We remain tied at 7.
Number 18, Miller from North Carolina, tries a 51-yard field goal. He gets a pretty good snap, gets the ball down, but you can watch for his reaction right there. Yes.
Kenny a little disgusted with himself. He did hit a 51-yarder last week against Maryland. Now the Clemson Tigers have it. 1st and 10 from the Clemson 35. 6:25 to play. The 3rd quarter and a bad pitch. Clemson trying to recover. Here's Henderson looking for running room. Carolina's trying to pin him in, but he breaks away, and Henderson gets it out to the 35. He made it back to the line of scrimmage. And that was some play of recovery for Henderson.
45 Goss hits that Williams. Watch. Bang! He smashes him down, and he's saying to the coach, next time you call that play, coach, you can run it. And all right, 33. Henderson gets the ball, and he runs about 750 yards, and he makes -1.
But boy, that play had disaster written all over it for Clemson. 2nd 11 is just fine for Danny Ford right now. He'll take it. The give is to the fullback. And Tracy Johnson moves the football over the 35 to the 38. Here's a look at the storyline here in the rushing department. Clemson has been shut off in the second half so far, and North Carolina behind Torrin Dorn really picking up the pace. Clemson, that Tiger defense, is 4th in the country against the rush, but Torrin Dorn has had great success here in the 3rd quarter. Williams pitches. Cooper on the end around. 40, tripped up, and he got the 1st down at the 45. Derek Donald tripped him up.
That's the option play to the left. Now Williams will come to the left. As he comes, he pitches it back to Cooper, number 25. Donald, who's a very fine football player, stays in position and makes a good tackle. But the play was made by the option. Carolina rushes it, chases it, reverse. Good call by the Clemson bench.
1st down and 10 for the Clemson Tigers. Williams out of the eye, hands off, and it's the fullback. Johnson, beautiful move, keeps it, a spin move for a 2nd time, and down to the 32. A tremendous run by junior fullback Tracy Johnson of 23 yards.
6 foot, 230, and watch him run. Nice trap play out of the middle. He gets hit now, and he does a little spin. Nice job. Runs the other way, gets spins again, and I'll tell you what, that's a highlight film right there, and that's a coaching clinic for everybody to watch how to run the football. Tracy Johnson, great run.
Another 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 32. Allen hit at the line of scrimmage and no gain. Maybe lost a yard. That Tar Heel defense led by number 93, Reuben Davis, making the tackle. Elsewhere in college football, Minnesota 2 up on Michigan in the 3rd quarter. BYU wins big over San Diego State. UTEP with the victory over Utah, and Wyoming, the WAC leaders, up on New Mexico in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down for the Tigers. Williams hit and dropped, and a penalty flag has been thrown at the 33-yard line.
The penalty would be against the offensive left guard, number 76, Harmon, and left tackle, number 71, Granger. They moved before the snap. It's an illegal procedure, 5 yards.
And there you see the indication. So Clemson will move it back 5, and this will spot the football back at the 37. 7-7 game, 3:38 to play in the 3rd quarter. First place on the line of the ACC. The victor of this game will not clinch the championship, but they'll take a giant step forward toward that goal.
And with those 9 bowl teams here, both of these teams are in bowl contention, which makes this game even doubly more important.
2nd down and long for the Tigers. Lancaster, nothing doing. Couple of yards to the 35. And again, that Tar Heel defensive front is there. Reuben Davis and Carlton Bailey. Number 96, Tim Goad, the defensive end, number 76, all in on the tackle.
They think Davis, Bailey, and Goad could be the best threesome up front that North Carolina has had in a long time. He's a fine football player, and he's the same gentleman who went down with that ankle injury, but he came back, shows a very competitive spirit.
3rd and 14. Williams from the air today. 5 out of 8. Looking, throwing, complete, and making the grab. 87, Keith Jennings, his first catch of the game. Derek Donald was defending.
What they wanted to do was run an option play and throw it back to the tight end, but he was covered, so he went to his 2nd receiver. Watch, he'll look to his left. The tight end is covered, so he goes to Jennings, number 87, but Donald again, number 37, is there to force the field goal.
David Treadwell coming on to attempt a 42-yard field goal attempt, the nation's leading field goal kicker. Treadwell trying to fracture a 7-7 tie. Sile the holder. The kick is long enough, and the kick is good. David Treadwell, Mr. Clutch for Clemson. It's a 42-yarder with 1:59 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Clemson has taken a 10-7 lead over the North Carolina Tar Heels. The Tigers have not trailed in this game.
Treadwell, number 18, is a clutch kicker. He gets a good kick here because there's a lot of pressure on him from the outside. He keeps his head down, follows through, and it's good. And let me tell you something. At the top of the show, we talked about the fact that Carolina was good on a goal line defense and that field goals would be important for Clemson. And that was a perfect example of doing exactly what they need to do to win this game.
Danny Ford, if you recall, Lee, disdained a field goal attempt on the first drive of the game. Lost the ball on downs. Goes to Treadwell here, and he nails a 42-yarder.
Yeah, but Danny Ford was thinking aggressive, especially first part of the ball game. Dick Crum is thinking aggressive. Let me tell you something about Dick Crum. He was at Menor High School, and his record was 50 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. His idol and the guy he exemplifies and tries to emulate more than anybody else, the great late Woody Hayes.
More great action on ESPN after our game. Number 5 LSU hosting number 15 Alabama. Jim Kelly, Kevin Kiley. That's coming up next. The CFA doubleheader on ESPN. 10-7. Clemson now leading North Carolina. And the Tar Heels send Randy Marriott and Eric Starr deep to receive the Rusty Sile kick. Coming right at you. And it's going to be Marriott to return. 20, 25, outside 30, 35, 40. And out of bounds in front of the Clemson bench. A great return for Randy Marriott. We've talked so much about the Clemson return game, but Marriott's the man this time for North Carolina.
55, Hatcher, we got him isolated. He's coming down. He's an outstanding outside linebacker. He breaks it down. He avoids one man, and now he gets a chance to make the tackle, but he's just not quick enough. And Marriott slips past him, and that's good field position for the Carolina team.
A 35-yard return for Randy Marriott. Gives the Tar Heels great field position, and the fullback gets the call, James Thompson, and he moves it out to the 50-yard line. So the spark lead has not been diminished by the Treadwell field goal.
No, but let me tell you, that was an outstanding call for one reason. The reason why the fullback made that play go is that they fake the tailback one way and give it to the fullback up the middle, and everybody chased Dorn, number 44.
A minute 25 to play in the third quarter in Chapel Hill. North Carolina's got Freddie Rankin in at the slot. At the top of your screen, Mark May is going to hand it off, and it's Dorn into Clemson territory at the 49. Vince Taylor made the tackle for the Clemson Tigers, but Dorn again with the hit, with the carry, and Taylor with the hit.
It's inside 1 minute to go in the third quarter. If Carolina can get out of here 13, get out of here 10-7, they'll be all right, because the fourth quarter at home should be your advantage.
Third and 2. Marriott in motion. May under pressure and snowed under, and a sack at the 39-yard line. Number 55, Jesse Hatcher, the junior outside attacker from that, what Clemson calls the bandit outside position. A penalty flag has gone down. The 6th sack for Jesse Hatcher.
Jesse Hatcher, number 55, comes in, and so does number 96, McCullough. He's back in there, too. They put great pressure on the rollout that time, but there's a penalty, and we'll have to see what happens. Great inside pressure right there by 96, who scares him, enough for 55 Hatcher to make the tackle.
It's a face mask against Clemson.
But it depends on what kind. If it's an inadvertent face mask, it's only 5 yards. If it was done on purpose, it's 15 big ones.
The Tar Heel faithful at Chapel Hill, as the Tar Heels now have it first down and 10 from the Clemson 44-yard line. 50,000 plus on hand at Kenan Stadium tonight.
That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, which meant when the line of scrimmage, and that's why they made the first down.
So the Carolina drive remains alive, and Mark May hands it over to Dorn, and he is met and stacked up. The Clemson defense making the hit, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter of play. A Treadwell field goal has given the Clemson Tigers a 3-point advantage, 10-7 over the Tar Heels as we go to the fourth period of play.
This is an excellent picture of the defensive line. Clemson is big and strong, so they like to crowd the football. North Carolina does not want them to be so close to them, so they back off the line. That was an excellent picture of crowding the ball and backing off the ball.
Now the Tar Heels come up second down. Trailing Clemson 10-7. Mark May escapes pressure, runs it, has an opening, 40, and down to the 37. A penalty flag has been thrown back at the 43. In that third quarter, Lee Corso, North Carolina had 107 yards as compared to Clemson's 53. Penalty against the Tar Heels. Clemson got a field goal from David Treadwell at the end of the quarter to take a 10-7 lead. Mark May, the Tar Heel quarterback, and now head coach Dick Crum getting an explanation.
Offense, repeat, second down.
So the Tar Heels are going to have it third and short without the clip lead, but now the football's been moved back to the North Carolina 42. Other scores in college football today. That Ivy race has been interesting all season long. William and Mary with a big victory over Bucknell. And the Huskies defeat Delaware. Dorn straight ahead, but the Clemson defense is there. And a gain to the 44. Dorn has carried the ball 17 times in this game. He has one touchdown run for 20 yards, and now he has 90 yards in the game. The Clemson Tigers went to the Gator Bowl last year. They're the reigning ACC champions, rated 10th in the country. A 7-1 record on the line in Chapel Hill. May throwing it deep. And it's going to be incomplete over the head of Quentin Smith. Lott defending at the 12-yard line. So again, Mark May coaches long with that pass downfield.
Pressure on the quarterback is outstanding from the defensive line again. May drops back the pass. He gets good protection after a moment, then all of a sudden in comes number 85, Drag, to get a piece of him. Number 5 is Lott covering him. From the scouting report, Bob, it must be that they think they can beat Lott deep, because every time they throw the ball deep, they throw it in Lott's area.
Kenny Miller is the North Carolina punter. And Wolford will take it inside the 15 at the 12. Scoots away, and here he goes out to the 30 and tripped up. A big tackle that time for North Carolina's Dennis Tripp as Wolford moves it out to the 32. ESPN's presentation of CFA football is being brought to you by Volvo, a car that you can believe in. And by medicated Noxzema shave cream. That Noxzema feeling oh so close. Oh so close is what it's been at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. Clemson leading North Carolina 10-7 with 13:38 to play in the game. And the Tigers have it first down and 10 from their own 32-yard line. And McFadden is hit immediately. Number 93, Reuben Davis, 97, Cecil Gray are there.
93, Reuben Davis does an outstanding job. He's 6'4", 275. He's on the left-hand side of your picture. Want him hit him. Oh, he hits him there and knocks him down. And 97, Gray comes from the outside. One of the things you can tell is how excited the team is the way their defensive linemen play. Carolina's ready.
McFadden the tailback, Lancaster at fullback. The fake to the fullback. Williams is hit and dropped at the 30. The Carolina defensive line again, and this time support from inside linebacker Mitch White, number 49.
97 Gray, the right defensive end, does a good job of staying in his position, knocks off the fullback, and then the 54, the linebacker, Rudolph, scrapes to the outside. 97 caused that play because he penetrated into the backfield.
So 2 running plays, and Clemson has lost yardage. 3rd and 11. Cooper in motion. Pressure by the Tar Heels. Williams throws complete and out of bounds to Gary Cooper on the far side. Skeet Baldwin ran him out of bounds. But not before that young man, junior Rodney Williams, completes the pass. And Clemson gets a first down.
Clutch play that time by Williams because it was a strong safety blitz by number 4, Davis, from the outside. He stepped right into the face of the pocket and threw that ball for a big completion. That play was important because it keeps the ball in the hands of Clemson right now.
1st and 10. Williams, option, keeps it. He is over the 45 to the 48. Brett Rudolph there to touch him down. Talking about Rodney Williams, Coach, here's another Rodney that doesn't get any respect when they talk about all ACC quarterbacks. You rarely hear the name Rodney Williams. All he does is win.
I tell you what he did 2 weeks ago. He came in the second half, and he set an NCAA record by throwing the ball 46 times against North Carolina State and scored 28 points.
Clemson was down 30-0, and Rodney Williams and company nearly pulled that one out of the fire. Handoff, Johnson over the 50 to the North Carolina 47. To the fullbacks with the carry. Tracy Johnson and free safety Dan Vuletich made the tackle.
Davis is an outstanding football player, 6'1", 213. He's an outstanding player because he's got good instincts. Watch, he reads the play real quick. He comes in and explodes and then hits the guy and drags him down. A big, big play here. 3rd down and less than a yard. Clemson needs to keep the football. North Carolina needs to get the ball.
Fullback James Thompson getting a breather on the North Carolina bench. The chain gang coming out to measure here to see if Clemson has a 1st down. 11:35 to go in the game. Tigers on top of North Carolina 10-7.
Bob, remember we talked about the computer? 30 out of 33 times, Tracy Johnson has run over the right guard, number 61, made it. Remember the last time they had this situation? They ran over Tracy Johnson, ran over Phillips, and he didn't make it. Let's see if they do exactly the same thing that they want to do or something that North Carolina does not expect. Tracy Johnson, Lee, has had a big game. His career-high 93 yards against Duke. He's got 81 today against the Tar Heels. 10-7, Clemson in the 4th quarter with 11:30 remaining. 3rd and less than a yard. Johnson, there he is, and a 1st down up to the 43. And a great job, too, because both fullbacks are in, Johnson and Lancaster, and Johnson delivers again. But the thing about Johnson, he's quicker than Lancaster, and he gets to the hole quick. This is a typical belly play. 61, Phillips gets a good block and forces the guy to the inside, and there goes Johnson, who's got that low center of gravity, makes the 1st down. That was an excellent play by Johnson because they needed that 1st down. The numbers on Tracy's day. Clemson with its 15th 1st down. Williams, pitch, loose ball, Carolina recovers. Williams was hit as he pitched, and 54, Brett Rudolph, combining with Derek Donald to get the football for the Tar Heels. Lee, you could see that one coming because Allen had to reach back to try to get it. Well, what happened on it is the snap, he misses the fullback. Watch, he wants to fake to the fullback, but he's fumbling the ball right there. Now, one of the things you try to tell him is, look, don't toss the ball unless you've got good control on it. But he really wants to make the play go. Allen drops the ball off his hip, and Carolina's got the football, but they got to do something with it now. Brad Rudolph with his 2nd fumble recovery of the year, and here is Torrin Dorn. He protects the ball and gets over the 50 into Clemson territory. Gene Beasley, number 27, made the tackle. Torrin Dorn, and what a game this young man has had. 94 yards. And the last defensive hero, Rudolph, capturing Clemson's 4th turnover of the game. And that's not normal with Clemson football. They're very, very soundly coached. They don't usually make that many mistakes. And when they do, you know what happens? I'm afraid to tell you, they usually get beat. Thompson, just a couple. Clemson, despite the turnovers, Lee, still leading in this game. You know why? Because they play great defense. And Danny Ford is a disciple of Bear Bryant, and this is the way Bear Bryant taught all of his boys. You win on defense, you kick the ball better than anybody, and you recruit the best possible offensive and defensive linemen, and you win the game up front, and he's doing it better than even the Bear did at his age. Remember that. The 6th winningest active coach in the NCAA, Danny Ford. Mark May takes the play action, pressure. Completes the pass to Thompson. And he moves the football to the Clemson 41, and that's going to be a North Carolina 1st and 10 with 9:40 remaining in the game. Nice pass protection because they faked the ball that time. Watch, they fake the tailback in there, and that freezes the lineman, but number 40 will stop to the right-hand side of your picture, and he comes in behind the line. Good play by the offensive line from Carolina, but even a better play by number 40 Thompson to find the open area. May has Parham in at a tight end. Thompson and Dorn behind him. Thompson the ball carrier.
Thompson carries.
And he moves it to the 39-yard line. Tony Stevens, the middle guard, was the first man to get there, and he also got some help from Raymond Shavens. Elsewhere in college football, Maine defeating New Hampshire. Villanova winning big over UMass. Michigan now has come from behind to take a 4th quarter lead over Minnesota.
2nd and 8.
It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Tar Heels. Mark May is 8 of 14 for 56 yards. He's had 2 passes picked off. Dorn Gets a great block from Thompson, but Clemson comes up quickly and cuts off the corner. James Lott leading the pursuit. Well, you mentioned it, Lee, that great Clemson defense, and despite the fact they had a great block initially from Thompson, the corner was sealed.
You can't coach speed, and when you got great speed, the field shrinks. It's like playing on a postage stamp. Now, that play was supposed to be a good-looking play, but the Clemson speed outran the football. Great speed is the secret to great defense.
The Tar Heels have not led in this game. Dorn's touchdown tied it. A field goal for Clemson, and David Treadwell have the Tigers on top. Dorn snares it at the 40, 35, out of bounds. Shy of a first down. Beasley wrapped him up, but the Tar Heels have it inside the 35 at the 33. This kid can do it all.
That was a little screen play. May comes back to pass, throws a screen. Number 61, Crowley, will get a good block. Number 51, Crowley gets a good block, and it's a clutch situation. It's 4th down and 2. They're going to tie the game with a field goal right here.
32.
Kenny Miller is in, and he's going to try a 49-yarder. 0 for 2 in this game.
48-yard field goal attempt by Kenny Miller.
Here's the kick. It is long enough, and it is good. And the game is tied. 7:45 remaining. Clemson and the Heels are even. Next Saturday, we'll be starting off with ESPN's College Game Day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll be announcing our first game at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then at 7:30, the night contest, Penn State and Pitt. And then the final game of the triple-header, Colorado State against San Diego State at 11.
You want to watch that game day because that Vino Cook is really fun. I had it a couple of times I was there. One time he was in a manhole cover. He really was. Then he was getting shaved. Today, I think they said he was in a fireman or a fire sale or something.
Oh, because his picks have been so hot.
All right, I'm telling you. Vino Cook, Tim Brando, it's a great show.
Indeed. Vino picked North Carolina to win this game on game day today. The Tar Heels have come back to tie it up 10-10 with 7:45 to play. Kenny Miller is going to be kicking it away. Joe Henderson and Terry Allen are the deep men for Clemson. Allen on the near side. Henderson, and he can scoot from the 2. 15, hit, bounces off, gets it out to the 20. The ball may have popped loose, but the officials say that it is going to be Clemson's ball. Carolina finally, Lee Corso, on the last 2 fumbles, able to cash in with those points.
When you have a ball control offensive team and you're a well-coached team like Clemson, you rarely have that many fumbles. And what the other team has to do is take advantage of them, because getting fumbles and doing something about it is 2 different things. Rodney Williams. The Clemson quarterback hands off to the fullback, and Tracy Johnson with a quick first step moves it out to the 29. You talked about his quickness. He's got quickness and he hits the line, but the secret to the running game is the offensive line. And Clemson had one of the best looking offensive lines we saw in the films. And this number 61, Phillips, is an outstanding player. He never lets up. 61 back, 76 Harmon. They're all excellent football players and well coached for Clemson. John Phillips was a first-team All-American last year, selected by UPI. This time he gets the handoff. Johnson does, but Reuben Davis is there. Under 7 minutes to play in the game. North Carolina and Clemson at 10-10. Over 50,000 here at Kenan Stadium. That's another 3rd down short yard situation. Fullback 42 over right guard, number 61, Phillips. Watch it in action. Now Danny Ford takes a timeout. 6:29 to play in the game. A 3rd down situation for the Tigers when we come back. We're back at Kenan Stadium at Chapel Hill. Clemson 5 for 10 and 3rd down conversions in this game. They've got a 3rd and a yard. And the Tigers couldn't hear the signals. what the referee will do, he steps in and warns the crowd. If he has to do it 3 times, there could be a timeout called against the North Carolina team, and then there could be a penalty, which they don't want that to happen. You've got to give the visiting team an opportunity to call a signal.
The crescendo increases. And again, the officials step in. .6:29 remaining. It's 3rd and a yard for the Tigers in a 10-10 game. Now we see the North Carolina defensive players asking the crowd just to quiet down a bit so that they can hear the signal count. That request has been ignored.
Now, one of the things they'll have to do, they'll signal up to the press box, and the press box will have to make an announcement that if the Carolina crowd does not keep quiet, it's going to cost them a timeout.
Danny Ford used a timeout to set up his strategy for 3rd and 1. Clemson comes up to the line, and the noise meter goes off again. There's the handoff. Johnson plows his way over the right side and gets the first down to the Clemson 32.
Exactly the same play again. What a great play by Johnson, number 42. He gets a tremendous block on number 86, and all of a sudden he drives himself forward. The one thing you got to like about Johnson from the end zone shot is, boy, I'm telling you one thing, he knows the game is on the ball right there, and he's got to get it. Boy, you got to love a player like that.
Outside backer 86, Noel McCahern tried to make the tackle, and now again the officials are indicating that if it happens again, Carolina could be penalized. You see Dick Crum on the sidelines, Lee.
Well, coach has no control of this. You try to get the crowd to understand that if you're away from home, the other team has got to have the opportunity to call it signals. He's explaining to Danny Ford the rule, which Danny obviously knows, that if they continue to do this, it's going to cost them a timeout. And then it gets really important, because then it starts costing them yardage, too.
You see Coach Crum with his histrionics on the sideline. And Clemson up and ready. 1st and 10 from the 32. Pitch. Allen. Hit and dropped at the 37. And the first man to get him, strong safety Norris Davis.
Norris Davis was up in good position to make that play. It was a beautiful play on the option by Clemson, but Davis was up in perfect position, got rid of the blocker, and made a nice, solid tackle.
Lee, it's a bit of a newsmaker, the fact that Norris Davis hasn't scored a touchdown in this game.
The game is not over.
Indeed. Norris Davis has 5 touchdowns on defense for North Carolina.
In 5 different ways.
5:30 left to play.
Johnson carries.
And it is Johnson.
Tackled by Victor Bullock.
And he's got the first down for the Tigers, it appears, as we look at the sticks on the far side. Bulatich and Bullock there. First down, Clemson.
Every team has what they call a comeback or a fighter of the year or a fighter of the game. And I'll tell you one thing, Johnson's getting this award. Watch, he gets hit by number 49 right there and just runs right through him. White didn't get a chance to hit him. But the thing I like about Johnson the most is when the game is on the line, he wants the football. And that's a great player.
10-10 tie. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Johnson ahead to the 45. Tracy Johnson, a junior, for Coach Danny Ford from A.L. Brown High School in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Elsewhere in college football, Michigan now expands its lead to 10. Wyoming running away from New Mexico on the road. San Jose State with a 3rd quarter advantage over Pacific.
What happens in a situation like this, you run the fullback, but now watch for some kind of fake to the fullback in the option play.
Here's the pitch to Allen. 50, 45 and out of bounds. And they'll mark him stepping out shy of the 45.
We just talked about that play right there. You run the fullback, you suck him in, and all of a sudden you run the option play. Great call by the Clemson team. He comes down, pitches the ball to number 21, Allen. He's got quick enough feet to get to the outside. That play was made by the call from the upstairs, who did a tremendous job of sucking North Carolina inside and then attacking them outside. But they'll go back inside right now.
First down and 10, Clemson at the Carolina 46, and Allen inside over that left guard area, down to about the 42-yard line.
It's 4:19, 4:18 and counting. What Clemson is doing right now is going what they do the best, which is a running game, and let the offensive line win the game for them. They're going to try to get it down so that Treadwell can kick a field goal like he did against Georgia to win the ball game 13-10. But they're going to do it by keeping the clock on their side, so North Carolina does not have much time to come back and retaliate.
From the 43. Inside Johnson to the 39. You have to credit, Lee, that Tiger offensive line as we have. But these guys, in the fourth quarter of a tight game, they've laid it all out there.
Danny Ford is a former offensive line coach for Bear Bryant. He loves the offensive line, and that's his forte. And those guys are coming off the ball and knocking that North Carolina down. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the essence of football right there. Man on man, who's a better man? And let's take on the football.
A career high for Tracy Johnson, 110 yards. 3rd and 3. Johnson's had a whale of a game.
Football teams take on the personality of their head football coach. This is Danny Ford football right there. Winning football on the line of scrimmage.
The crowd here at Kenan Stadium trying to give the defense a boost. Cooper in motion. Johnson short. It's going to be 4th and 2. The clock, though, Lee Corso, continues to tick away. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game.
He's got a big decision now. Does he go for 4th down or not? The line gets good blocking in there. Number 75, Williams, gets a good block. But now it's 4th down and 2. Now, let's go with the options. He's going to call timeout first to make sure he gets the right call.
And we'll talk about those options when we continue from Chapel Hill after this.
The Carolina Duke basketball team.
ESPN's presentation of CFA football has been brought to you by the people of Rockwell International, where science gets down to business. By Mitsubishi Televisions. This game would look better on a Mitsubishi. By Casio, maker of the shock-resistant, water-resistant G-Shock. It's one tough watch to beat. And by Michelob. So exceptionally smooth, the night belongs to Michelob. Here's the situation. Clemson has it 4th down and 2 from the Carolina 38. Lee, Danny Ford called a timeout. What's he got up his sleeve?
All right, first of all, here's his options. He can kick a field goal. It's too far. Next thing, it's 4th and 2. He fakes Johnson in the middle. He runs the option play, pitches it to his tailback, and he tries to make a first down that way.
Clemson 9 for 12 and 4th and 2 or less this year. Allen. He's got the first down and out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
All right, so, excuse me, I'm sorry. Great call. Why great call? He got everybody sucked in with that Johnson in the middle. Now watch. Johnson makes a good fake. Boom, they hit that Williams real quick. He pitches it off to 21 Allen, and he gets the first down. When you're going to win a game in a clutch situation, you go to your best players. Williams, Allen, great option. That's the best play in football. That's the difference between college football and pro football, that option play.
Mitch White tried to run him down, but too late. 1st and 10 inside, it's Johnson. And that moves the football to the 27. Clemson and North Carolina, 10-10 game at Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. And Tracy Johnson having a career night. And there's Mr. Clutch for Clemson, David Treadwell. He's kicked 1 field goal in this game. And in his career, in the last 8 minutes, an unbelievable 7 for 7. 2nd down and 5. Allen moves it down to the 25-yard line.
One of the things that happens sometimes in a play like this, North Carolina is so desperate, they take a chance, and by taking a chance, sometimes a guy can fly there for 25 yards and break a touchdown. The offensive line will get the game ball tonight, boys. 61, Phillips, great play. Number 78, Nunemacher. Good play in the offensive line. You win the games, Bob, up front.
Timeout on the field. We'll be right back. Clemson 10, North Carolina 10. Tigers have it, third down with 2:05 to play. The football to North Carolina 26. Inside. And Johnson again, and he moves it to the 22-yard line.
Well, this is going to be an interesting call. It's going to be fourth down and maybe 6 inches to go for a first down, or he can kick a field goal with 1:58. He's got two options. Number one, to go for the first down or kick the field goal. I think he'll probably try to go for the first down and he'll get a little closer.
The officials will take time here as Danny Ford looks on to see just how far away they are. And they stretch the chains. It is a first down.
Strategy-wise now for Clemson. Number one, you keep giving the ball to Johnson because there's less apt to have a fumble on the pitch out. That's what Danny Ford is taking right now. But let me say one other thing. North Carolina's got to take a calculated risk right now, Bob. They've got to do something. They got to pitch the line, blitz somebody, and if they do that, watch it, got to break it all the way for a touchdown.
And if things bog down, the spotlight will be on David Treadwell. But Clemson continues to pick up the first downs in this drive. Allen, a big hole. And Allen gets it close to the 10. They'll mark him down at the 12.
Number 76, Harmon. Number 71, Granger. 60 back. They're all coming after you. Now, remember what I talked to you about? There's going to be a big hole if they blitz. That was the hole. And there went Allen driving up there. Now they're going to give the ball to the fullback every play until they kick this field goal.
Lee, this will be the 17th play in this drive.
Away from home in a hostile environment. Well-coached football.
1:41 to play.
That's what Danny Ford's telling them. We have what we call a two-hand drill, which means everybody that touches the football protects it with two hands and don't let them strip it from you.
Begins. Johnson has carried the football 23 times from the fullback spot. Allen 17 times from the tailback position. Johnson straight ahead to the 10. And that'll make it second down, and that clock continues to go up.
He'll say again, he wants the fullback to run the ball right up the middle. Two reasons. One, there's less chance to have a fumble in there. And two, they're right in the middle of the field goal position, where it's the best place to kick the field goal. He'll say again and again, Johnson and Johnson, clock run out, kick the field goal, and win it.
Carolina's got to be thinking about using those 2 timeouts that they have remaining. Meanwhile, Clemson hands it off to Johnson. And 86 outside linebacker Noel McCahern and defensive end Tim Goad there. And now Carolina stops the clock.
The offensive line are just told right now, just come out and hit somebody. Good explosion off the ball. 2 hands. You see that? 2 hands on the football by Johnson. Don't fumble. He'll go back over there and he'll tell the quarterback, hand the ball to Johnson again. Make them use their timeouts. Milk the clock. We'll call timeout. Make sure everybody's settled down. And our kicker, Treadwell, will kick it and we'll win. And everybody be happy.
Making an easy ride home back to Clemson, South Carolina.
North Carolina saying, whatever you do, not only make the tackle, the first guy make the tackle, the second guy strip the football.
Well, the Tar Heel defense, they've been giving up yards on the ground, but they haven't given up the touchdown.
At the top of the show, we said the key to this game would be when Clemson moves down inside the area where North Carolina plays great goal line defense to kick field goals. Here it goes.
Danny Ford getting his troops.
What he's doing there is he's getting his kicking team ready. See, he's getting all of his kicking guys ready to make sure there's no mess up with the substitution. That's what he's doing. He's thinking 3 plays ahead.
And Treadwell there just got a little pat in the face mask, number 18. Clemson at the Carolina 11. Alabama and LSU coming up next. And Williams back at the 14. And now we are ready for the kicking team. Clemson kept it right in the middle of the field. 37 seconds left.
Like Bear Bryant, Danny Ford has coached the kicking game himself. He knows exactly what he wants to do. In his right hand, he has a stopwatch that he will time this snap to make sure it's done right. He's telling his players, protect first, make sure you get good protection, and let's kick this field goal.
The kick will be in the 30-yard range for David Treadwell. David has kicked 1 field goal in this game for 42 yards. Puts the tee down just outside the 20. We'll call it a 30-yarder.
Okay, North Carolina's secret weapon is number 4, Davis. And if he ever blocked the field goal in his life, this is the chance to block it, pick it up and score, and become a legend in North Carolina history.
Norris Davis Lee is right up over center. Now goes back, and he'll try to swing around from the outside.
Keep your eye on number 4.
Morocco, the holder. David Treadwell hits it. Incredible run for David Treadwell. In the last 8 minutes of games in his career, he is now 8 for 8. And Clemson takes a 13-10 lead.
Clemson knows that they've got to block number 4. They block everybody to the inside, but Davis can't quite get there. Now, look at Treadwell. All right. Remember, Bob, it's not how many field goals you kick in your career, it's when you kick them. And that guy has won some big ball games for the Clemson Tigers. Now, Clemson is going to kick the ball off and try to squib it, and then they're going to play prevent defense and try to keep the long pass from being completed.
Derek Donald is the injured Tar Heel. It's been an amazing story for David Treadwell in his first collegiate game. This should have been a tip-off. In his first collegiate game, he kicked the winning field goal against Virginia Tech with no time remaining on the clock. And we all know what he's done to break the hearts of Vince Dooley and the Georgia Bulldogs the last 2 years. Dick Crum talking with Mark May. Here are the Volvo players of the game. And for Clemson, a great night for fullback Tracy Johnson. 123 yards in 25 carries for Tracy Johnson. And for the North Carolina Tar Heels, Torrin Dorn, he had 19 carries, 91 yards, and he's our Volvo player of the game for North Carolina.
There's one thing Danny Ford is concerned about here. He knows that he's only got a 3-point lead, so maybe 2 or 3 passes and a timeout and a long field goal could tie him. So he's not sure this game's over yet. I doubt if they'll kick the ball long. They might try to squib it and get good coverage on it.
13-10 Clemson with 32 seconds left to play. David Treadwell with his second field goal to put Clemson on top. Now the Tigers going to try to hold off a late Tar Heel rally. Mark May's got that right arm all warmed up and running.
Boy, and he's getting ready down. He's throwing the ball. He knows exactly what he wants to do. They've got a plan for under 30 seconds, and he's going to have to go to it right now.
Here's the kick. Randy Marriott, the 10, 15, 20, up to the 24-yard line. So the Tar Heels of North Carolina have to negotiate 75 yards and 26 seconds to win the game. Less than that for a Kenny Miller field goal to try to tie it.
May will probably try to throw the ball outside to his receivers so they can get out of bounds and stop the clock. He's not only fighting the Clemson defense here, he's fighting that clock with 26 seconds to go.
Mark May. Long downfield. And it is going to be incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Nearly intercepted. That number 23 had that ball right in his head. That would have been a touchdown. I can't believe it. Lott, number 5, runs and misses the ball, and I think it's number 23 has it. Look! In his hands. And the two guys ran together. Could you believe that?
Unreal. Here's Mark May again on second down. 20 seconds to play. May throwing. It's complete to Marriott. He's out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That stops the clock with 13 seconds to play. So Marriott comes right back to make the grab.
Okay, Marriott, 13 seconds. May throw the ball for about 15 yards and out of bounds. This one he did a perfect job. He lays it right up there so Marriott, number 23, can make a good adjustment. Watch this good catch by him. Looks it in and gets out of bounds as quick as he can to stop the clock. He's got to do that again.
Mark May looking, throwing. It's complete to Torrin Dorn. He's out of bounds at the Clemson 46. That stops the clock with 8 seconds to go.
Tackled by James Earl.
James Earl came up to make the tackle.
Bob, that's not far enough. He's got to throw the ball at least 15 yards on the outside to get out of bounds with about 3 seconds to go and kick a field goal and tie the game. He's got to complete a 15-yard pass to the left sideline here, step out of bounds and kick a field goal after a timeout.
Mark May. He's running, looking, zipping it to the sideline, incomplete, and upended Quentin Smith with 2 seconds to go.
That was a perfect play. Perfect play. He got Smith exactly where he wanted him. 15 yards down the sideline. Right. He comes into the inside, breaks it to the outside, but May throws it over his head. If he could have completed that pass, it would have been a perfect situation. Lott comes up, makes the tackle. Now he's going to try a 63-yard field goal?
63-yard field goal attempt for Kenny Miller of North Carolina with 2 seconds to go to tie the game. And it's going to be way short. And the ball game is over.
Final score, Clemson 13.
The Clemson Tigers defeat the North Carolina Tar Heels. The final score, 13-10, as Danny Ford congratulates the Tar Heels and head coach Dick Crum of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Congratulations to our players of the game, Torrin Dorn of North Carolina, Tracy Johnson of Clemson, Volvo donating $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. The Clemson Tigers make a great giant leap forward to clinching another ACC championship as they knock off the North Carolina Tar Heels 13-10. A David Treadwell field goal of 30 yards in the waning moments, lifting Clemson to victory. They never trailed in this game, but North Carolina gave them all they could handle. Clemson protects its number 10 ranking, and the Tigers are 8-1, and the Tar Heels fall to 5-4. For Lee Corso, this is Bob Rathman for our ESPN crew in Chapel Hill. Clemson wins it over Carolina. Now let's go to Jim Kelly.